the FIFA Club World Cup. We're going to give you how all the teams got there, guys.
Vamos.
That's what we're doing. Welcome to the ISB show, Sahil Rahi Roy. Now, normally, viewers out there, you are expecting us to talk about international football, but today, switching it up a little bit, talking a little club football, the FIFA Club World Cup. We're going to give you how all the teams got there, guys.
Vamos.
That's what we're doing.
Can I just say,
Taking it to the club tonight, Roy.
welcome to the club, my friend. Can I say how I love clubbing? Just kidding. Rocky's the clubber of this group here. He's in the New York clubs all the time. I see him. But let me just say how excited I am for this expanded Club World Cup. Before this expanded Club World Cup, this tournament was a throwaway, garbage, not worth watching tournament. It was a disgrace of a tournament. Such a wonderful idea to have teams from all over the world competing in one tournament. Now we finally have it. And I hope it kicks off. And I hope people latch onto it because it is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to watch it.
The question is going to be, do the teams get as excited?
That's
Do
the
they
question.
bring all their players? I know they're mandated. So let's see what happens.
Okay, as you guys all alluded to, 32 teams taking place in the United States of America, guys. So let's get into it. We're going to go region by region right now. And the first region is Asia, the Asian region, AFC. I'll start this off, guys. 4 slots for the Asian region. I'll start with the team on top, Al Hilal. Riyadh-based team from Saudi Arabia, winner of the 2021 AFC Champions League. So the way this works, just in general, we won't go too much into it, but this tournament is the winners of the winners because you have to win the Champions League or otherwise you got to be pretty darn good if you're not a winner of your regional Champions League. So start with Al Hilal. Some names, Alexander Mitrovic, a well-known name. Mr. Ruben Neves from Portugal, a big name on that club. So that is what we got. Al Hilal, fierce rivals of guys.
What about Neymar, man? What happened to Neymar? He did so well for them, right?
Yeah, so well that he's no longer there. So well that he's no longer there. So that's what I got to talk about. Al Hilal, the guys, of course, is the most successful club in Asia, some would say, right?
Yes.
And the most successful club in Saudi Arabia.
Very storied team.
Very storied team. Very storied team. It's true.
They have an incredible lineup, man.
Yeah.
They really spent billions of dollars to put together this cheat code lineup, which has them excelling in Asia. And I think they're going to excel in this tournament as well.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what they do against some of the European teams in this tournament.
Intrigued.
Because this is a great lineup that they have. And it's so interesting. How will they play?
Yes, so that's what we got to know. Then, representing the J League of Japan, Urawa Red Diamonds, which is a Saitama-based club, which, won the 2022 edition of the AFC Champions League. Interesting, because they've had a couple rough seasons here and there. I wanted to make a point. Not many, basically, I think none of the starting Japanese national team players are from this club. So a very interesting phenomenon here with the Urawa Red Diamonds. Moving on to United Arab Emirates, the most storied club in the United Arab Emirates, Al Ain. And Al Ain, of course, is the only club from the United Arab Emirates to win the Asian Champions League. Guys, did you know that? Exciting stuff. The most famous player from Al Ain currently is Mr. Sofian Rahimi, who got recalled to the Moroccan national team, a team we all love, guys. So there's that. And finishing it off, Ulsan from Korea, South Korea, that made it in. Again, a weird phenomenon. Not very many national team players from the South Korea national team on this club. But that wraps up Asia. Boys, any comments before we move on?
Forgot about Kaku, man. Kaku, Paraguayan international, ex-New York Red Bull for Al Ain, superstar.
All right.
I think this is fascinating because you have the Red Diamonds and Ulsan HD, two teams from countries particularly the Red Diamonds, right? Japan is such a strong national team, but no players that have come through this system. So it'll be interesting to see. And then you have Al Hilal, who are clearly the favorite of these teams. Roy, perhaps one of the favorites in the tournament, but we shall see. It's another marker. How far has Asia come? Can these teams compete against the European teams, against the South American teams? Perhaps.
We shall see. Moving on, Rahi, to your region, we go to Africa.
We're going to Africa, my friend. This is very interesting and very exciting because you know the skill that a lot of these teams and players have. You know the history of the region. But my guess is you know none of these teams, Roy. Did you know any of them before they were on the page? That's my question to you. Maybe Al Ahly. Have you heard of Al Ahly?
I know Al Ahly. They, fun fact, they actually destroyed my hopes and dreams of an MLS team doing well in the Club World Cup. It was an MLS team's first ever appearance in the Club World Cup in 2023. They beat Seattle Sounders pretty handedly. It wasn't close. It was 1-0, but not very close. A very strong team, man. Yeah. Very interesting team to watch.
Yeah. Very interesting team. They, of course, have the Palestinian striker, right? Well known. So Abu Ali. It's an interesting, very, very storied franchise out of Cairo. But if you're watching this, they have just been eliminated from the CAF Champions League by who? The Mamelodi Sundowns once again eliminating Al Ahly. They've done it time and time again. Al Ahly cannot beat this team from Pretoria, my friends. And it was almost, they nearly had it. It was 0-0 in the first leg, going back to Cairo, up 1-0. And then in the last minute of the game, it's a late own goal. They collapse again. The Sundowns seem to have Al Ahly's number, and the Sundowns are an interesting team. They have some foreigners. Roy, they have an Argentinian, by the way. Esquivel, his name is. They have a Chilean, Allende. They have a very interesting team. This is who I'm very excited about. Watch out for the Sundowns. This is a team that I'm sure you haven't heard of, but out of Pretoria, they play in the South African League. Very, very interesting team. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. And then we have a couple other teams, 2 more North African teams, right? So right there up in top, we have Wydad AC out of Morocco. Yep. So a very interesting team there out of Casablanca. Again, historically has been very good. They have a lot of very storied franchises as well. Again, another tricky team. They have some Moroccan players, of course. We shall see. And then Esperança de Tunis.
What a name. Esperance.
Very interesting team. They have, of course, Yassine Maraya, Tunisian center back. This is a team that defends very well, my friends. For me, I don't know which of these teams is going to show up. Who is going to set the marker for Africa? It could be any of them.
Yeah.
My sneaky favorite is the Sundowns, my friend.
Oh, interesting. Not Al Ahly, the most storied African club. Interesting pick.
Yeah. I hope it's the Sundowns. I have heard of the Sundowns. I remember reading the team name and reading up on them. Do you guys remember the 2010 World Cup, the Bafana?
Yes.
Sure you remember.
We do.
The Mamelodi Sundowns used to be called the Bafana Ba Style, which means boys with style. And they would play a lot like the South African national team played in the 2010 World Cup, with that flair, with that style, with that technical ability, with the crazy celebrations. So I hope we get a lot of that.
Yeah, and they have in the midfield, they have the South African man himself, Teboho Mokoena. So it's an interesting, very talented team. They might actually be the most expensive of any of these teams. So it's a very international team, the Sundowns are.
Fascinating, man. I love it.
All right. A lot to expect from the African teams. Moving on, Rosito to South America. CONMEBOL, who we got?
Speaking of tournament favorites, guys, Palmeiras. What a team. All 3 of these. No, I say 3 because Botafogo is a disaster so far this season. They're almost in relegation zone. But Palmeiras, Flamengo, and Fluminense are fantastic Brazilian teams being led by Palmeiras. They're such a phenomenal squad right now. Who does Palmeiras have Do you all know who their superstar player is right now?
Tell us, who is their superstar player, Roy?
It is a man who very recently scored his club's second goal in Copa Libertadores in the famous La Paz. And what happens? He did it on his 18th birthday. He scored. His team wins. He vomits on the field, gets taken out on a stretcher. And now he's a Chelsea target. I believe he signed for Chelsea. Yeah. So he's on his way to Chelsea any moment now. But this is a heroic player at 18 years old, playing his guts out, literally, to win for his team. And I think we're going to see that as his last stand for Palmeiras. He's going to come through and win this tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if Palmeiras wins this tournament. I know we have Madrid in it.
Name?
And
What's his
Brazilian
name?
teams
Estevao. Mark his name down, my friends. He's
Estevao.
Phenomenal talent.
And we have to say, Roy, Brazilian teams outside of the European teams are the only ones that have had real success in this tournament, right?
Yep. They very frequently have success in this tournament. Surprisingly, Mexican teams do as well. They tend to make the finals fairly often. Most recently, who was it? Pachuca.
Yeah.
But excellent team, Palmeiras. Flamengo, another terrific club with a terrific legacy. It hasn't always translated onto the pitch, but this is a side with incredible players. They have new management with Felipe Luis, the former Chelsea man. You know him well, Brazil defender. He's brought back life to this team, man. He's brought back life to this storied club. Last year, he led them to a cup win and a strong league campaign. I'm excited for this team, man. It's a young team, players in their early to mid 20s. They have Pedro, who is a goal-scoring machine. He is an unstoppable machine, my friends. And then I'm not even going to cover Botafogo. I'm not going to touch them. But Fluminense, why are they worth mentioning?
Yeah.
Whose last dance is it? Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, we're going to get to see his last dance on a FIFA stage, and I cannot freaking wait for that, guys. I can't.
He must be 40, Roy. He must be 40.
He's
40,
up
right?
there. He's definitely in his late 30s. It's going to be a blast. And then, of course, the greatest rivalry. I don't care. Anyone that says Madrid and Barcelona is the fiercest, most vicious rivalry in the world does not pay attention to our hemisphere. In the world, the most vicious, prestigious rivalry is Boca Juniors contra River Plate.
Yeah.
That is the most intense match you could watch in the world. And if you add the Bombonera to that equation, you have the most intense environment, the most incredible stadium. That's a dream. That is a dream match to watch. You got to watch your back because it is intense, it's violent, it's vicious, and we're potentially going to get to see it here. Who to watch?
I was going to say that you're talking about the atmosphere in Argentina, but these teams are going to have some of the biggest support along with the Mexican teams in the US, right? So this could very well feel for some of these games like they're in back home in Buenos Aires. So it's going to be very interesting. It'll be much tougher for the African teams, the Asian teams, maybe a little less support, but these guys, wow, they're going to feel like they're at home.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope the Argentinians show up the way they show up for the World Cups, but Boca is going to be a pleasure to watch. You got Edison Cavani for Boca Juniors, man. Another almost 40-year-old. But for me, he is the best looking soccer player in the world. He has the look, he has the face, he has the hair, he has the body type. He's amazing, and he's still killing it at this late age in soccer. And then River Plate, the one player I want to mention. Can you guess which Argentinian hero plays for River Plate? Can anyone guess? Superstar hero.
So
Still
I don't
playing.
know. Who's still playing?
I would say an absolute hero. No one will ever forget his name for what he did recently.
Montiel.
Yes, sir.
Montiel.
Yes, sir. Montiel. You'll remember the World Cup, my friends. No Argentinian will ever forget.
Maybe he'll score. Maybe he'll score the winning penalty for River Plate in the Club World Cup. Then he'll make it 2-for-2. Okay, fascinating region. Fascinating region there. Now, Rahi, we're gonna go to teams that people have never heard of. These European teams here, never heard of these 12 teams.
Spicy. Spicy. And if, as usual, when you talk about Europe, if you look at the right side of the screen and try and understand why these teams qualified, it makes no logical sense. They're just weird rankings here on the right-hand side. It really doesn't make any sense. Too many rules, as always. It's Europe, remember.
Yeah.
But if you look on the left-hand side, you see, wow, this is a who's who of very, very storied, very competitive, very expensive teams. It's going to be fascinating to see. Not only do you have, of course, the Real Madrids of the world, the Manchester Cities, but you have a team like Benfica. You have a team like Atletico, of course. And then you have a team like Chelsea doing so well now in the Premier League, trying to bump up in that Champions League spot. It really is anyone's guess which of these teams is going to show up in the summer, Roy, because they're all so good.
Who are you picking, man? I got one team in mind. Who are you picking?
Red Bull Salzburg?
Nope.
No, I honestly, for me, I'm really looking at PSG. I think PSG is on the rise. We'll see how they end the Champions League, but I think this tournament is tailor-made for them and their Georgian superstar, Mr. Kvaratskhelia. So for me, I'm looking at maybe Bayern Munich and as well Chelsea. Look out for Cole Palmer. We know what Cole Palmer does in the summertime. He loves the summers.
Yeah. You didn't name my team, Rocky. I got one team potentially taking the entire tournament. Probably my favorite team in Europe right now. That's Lautaro Martinez and Marcus Thuram with Inter Milan. Vamos Inter. Let's go.
I didn't know Roy was such a Milan fan. I got to say this. I wanted to make one comment about this. Defending champions of this tournament, of course, are Man City. Have had a subpar season, so I'm looking for big things for Man City in this tournament. But anything else to say, Rahi, about Europe before we move on?
No, I mean, these teams are going to bring their A teams, so they're going to bring the big rosters. It'll be so fascinating to see because you're going to get some really interesting games, right? And it's going to be a mini Champions League in some ways. I can't wait to see also how these teams do, Roy, against the teams in the Americas.
I can't
That's
wait.
what I want to see. Inter Miami against Real Madrid. I want to see a game like that, man, in the semifinals.
Yes, but before we get there, now we get into the region with the team that is the favorite to win this tournament. Are you guys ready? You guys know who I'm talking about?
I know. Inter Milan. Inter Milan. No, sorry. No. Inter Miami.
No.
Inter Miami. No. That's my guess.
We're going to Oceania and Auckland City, boys. Auckland City. So, point of clarification. This team is not in the A-League. The Australian A-League, remember, when Australia decided to go to the Asian region, means that A-League gets taken out and gets put into the AFC Champions League, which has opened the door for this team, which has very recently won another OFC Champions League over the weekend, and they've basically now won 4 in a row. 4 in a row, boys, of the OFC Championship. Auckland City, what's up?
Guys, no, they're going to get wrecked. They're going to get absolutely wrecked. It's going to be embarrassment for the country of New Zealand as a whole. They're playing in the New Zealand Regional League, and they're in 4th. Come on, guys. Birkenhead United is in, what is that? Eastern Suburbs is in 2nd. So the suburb is playing this tournament? I don't understand what's going on.
Well, okay, Roy. So let's say Auckland City gets a point out of a game, right? You're taking me out to dinner, and I'm going to choose the most expensive restaurant in the U.S.
Oh, God. In the US.
Are you willing to put that? Are you willing to put that?
If Auckland City wins a game, Roy, you have to watch Lord of the Rings, all 3 of them, unlimited edition, director's cut, all the beautiful scenes of New Zealand with Sa, okay? Together.
Yeah.
Okay, that I'm definitely down for.
And
that
you're paying for food.
100%.
You're paying for food.
Okay.
In all seriousness, though, it's quite credible. This team has been here before. They and they've done decent. One time they got 3rd place one time, so that's pretty good. Now this is different competition this time. I'll give you guys that. But anything these guys do, it's going to be the Cinderella team of the tournament.
No,
nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
All right. Well, we'll see about that, Roy. And I'm hoping that we can all prove Roy wrong. All right, Roy, finish us off. go to the CONCACAF region.
No.
What the TBD? What happened here?
That's the Baltimore Demise, a new club team from Baltimore. Is that what that is, guys?
No.
The Baltimore Dorks. Is that the team here?
It looks like we got to go to Note 5. Note 5 to tell us what's going on.
Yes.
Roy, tell us what Note 5
5
says, please.
By the way, thank you for Wikipedia for providing these beautiful graphics. One day we'll be able to afford graphics that are more than Wikipedia. But go ahead, Roy. What do we
Looking
got?
for sponsors. Sponsors, help us.
Help us. Roy, what do we got? What's going on
I'll start with the Baltimore Demise. Just kidding. It's not the Baltimore Demise. It is to be determined. That's what that stands for, guys.
And
to
why?
be determined. Because León was a naughty team. They're a little naughty pow team. Okay. So they are no longer participating in the Club World Cup. They're going to do a 1-match brutal final bloody showdown between Los Angeles Football Club, the second best football club in Los Angeles, and Club America, the storied Mexican team. So that match will decide who the 5th team is. That's going to be a killer match, guys. LAFC's got legendary player in Giroud, who also happens to be the most disappointing MLS signing in history. He has 1 league goal in 2 seasons. 1. So that's who's going to be leading the front line against
you
Club
win
America.
that is great preparation. Whoever wins that game is going to come to this tournament hot, man.
On fire, man.
Difficult game.
I don't see LAFC winning it. They've been disappointing this season.
Yeah.
Club America is Club America, man. It's an incredible team, story team. They always destroy MLS for the most part. So we'll see. I would love to see an MLS team make it, get 3 MLS teams here. But who else we got, my friends? We have the Seattle Sounders. My question is, why do we have a team that did something well in 2022 automatically qualifying for this tournament?
Yeah, it has to do with when this tournament was supposed to be and when it is now, I think.
Well, that's how this system's going to work, right? Because if you think about it, it's going to be every 4 years. So now, that's how it will work in this tournament. This way.
I guess. But the problem is with MLS, because it's a league with so much parity, you have perfect example. The LA Galaxy last season, champions. The LA Galaxy this season, the worst team in the league with 0 wins after 9 games. Are you kidding me? So that's MLS for you. That's the way it looks. And we have a similar story with Seattle. Seattle is way down in the doldrums. They cannot get wins. They have your favorite player, Rocky, Jesus Pereira. Rocky's favorite player. And they're going to get whooped in this tournament, man. The Seattle Sounders are going to get whooped. Okay. And here's a hot take. Inter Miami is going to get whooped in this tournament.
Wow, okay. Really? All right. So I got to ask about that. Since you brought it up right now, I see these other teams have all won some tournaments to make this tournament. Inter Miami won something called the MLS Supporter Shield, which is not a tournament. Why are they in this tournament, Roy?
Well, Supporter Shield is how the rest of the world does it, which is the best team at the end of the regular season. They had the most points at the end of the regular season. Should it have been the Galaxy who won MLS Cup? Yes. But according to FIFA has designated 1 slot in the 32-team tournament for the best team from the host nation. In their eyes, the best team was Inter Miami. And it is hard to argue. They did get the most points during the season. They completely fumbled the playoffs.
We needed to have one individual Mr. Leo Messi in this tournament. And hey, whatever you got to do, fine. He's in the tournament now. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah. I don't think Rahi's in Miami. Rahi's currently in Miami doing this video from Miami. So I think there's something shady in the air over there. But continue.
He's doing a scouting report on Inter Miami for the next video. How awesome, man.
Okay, so you've told us, Roy, Inter Miami, no chance. Seattle Sounders, no chance. Nope. So which of these teams from the Americas is actually going to do us proud in America?
I'm going to say, listen, Pachuca and Monterrey, they're 7th and 8th right now in the Liga MX. They're both absolute powerhouses. But Pachuca is a team, let's remember back in December, what happened with Pachuca. They had their moment in the FIFA's inaugural Intercontinental Cup. They beat Botafogo. They beat Ahly. They made it to the final against Real Madrid and put up a tremendous performance against Real Madrid. Yes, they lost 3-0, but it should have been a 2-0. That would have been a fair result. But they played admirably. They were an incredible team, and that is not too long ago, guys. So if there's one team that could do it, I would say it's Pachuca. The second team is the team with arguably the most iconic defender of all time on their roster, Mr. Sergio Ramos, Monterrey. They got Sergio Ramos leading the back line, and they have one of the best strikers in Central America, Berterame. He's a terrifying, terrifying striker in the final third. So those two teams are going to be interesting. I just don't see Seattle doing anything. And Inter Miami has not been doing well. They just lost 2-0 against Vancouver, and they looked bad. Suarez is not looking good. Suarez should retire by end of season. I think he announced that he
don't
would.
like Inter Miami. You clearly don't.
I love him. I love Inter Miami, but they're not playing well, man.
The GOAT himself. But anyways, all right. Let's see what they do, because I feel Messi has something to say, and you might change your mind after this tournament.
I hope so. I hope.
All right. Proving them all. Okay, so we'll leave you this, guys. We will not cover our predictions in this video. We ran through all the teams, but here's what it all looks like. Digest it. Think about it. We will be coming back to you all with another video to discuss that exact thing, because, you know, we have said it many times, guys. The FIFA Club World Cup is coming. It's coming to us. If you've been enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts about these teams, and get ready for a prediction video from these boys. Boys, last thoughts.
Can't wait to see you all in the club.